taking none.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. It's Kayla, aka Nola K, and in this video, we're going to be talking about all things divisional round, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. And as you know, the New Orleans Saints swept the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the regular season, and now we have a chance to play them again in the Superdome. And there's this whole notion going around talking about it's hard to beat a team 3 times, and it's hard to beat any team, but, you know, doing it 3 times in the same season is hard. Well, actually, there's like a little bit of a debunk to that. Apparently, out of the 32 times this scenario has happened where a team has swept another team in the regular season and is facing them in the playoffs, 20 out of 32 times the team who swept them in the regular season have won the playoff game. So it's just the notion that people are saying. I guess it's more like, hey, I know there's this team that's better, aka I think the Saints are better than the Bucs when you look at it. So, hey, don't count out the team that lost 2 times. Like, it's kind of like like they want you to buy into like the game and like make it seem interesting and make it seem like the other team has a chance, which any team has a chance. I'm just saying, like, that's just a way to promote the game, I guess. You know, the NFL, the media, they want to promote the game. They want more people watching. So it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like that, you know, get more views, you know, try and make it seem more exciting, I guess. But obviously, anything can happen. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're a great team. So, yeah, but 20 out of 32 times, the team who swept them in the regular season beat them in the playoff game. So it's possible. Anything's possible. It can go either way. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about the matchups and the predictions I have based on these 2 teams. So let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start off with the Bucs offense, which of course consists of Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, little Scotty Miller, and Cameron Brate. Those are the main targets in the receiving game, but in the running game, they have Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones Jr., which Ronald Jones Jr., I don't believe he played last week. If he did, Leonard Fournette got most of the snaps, I believe, against the Washington football team. But, yeah, those are all the weapons when it comes to the receiving game and in the running game. All right, let's get into some matchup stats. Tampa Bay's offense is ranked 2nd. Their yards per average is ranked 9th. And they're 2nd when it comes to passing TDs this season. Let's see how New Orleans ranks up. The Saints' pass defense is ranked 4th. They give up the 5th fewest yards per game and the 6th fewest yards per average. So they rank up pretty well. I'm going to talk about the passing game with Tampa Bay's offense. Obviously, like we said, I'm gonna start off first and foremost. I'm going to put out Mike Evans. I trust and believe in Marshon Lattimore to lock down. We know how that goes. He has 0 targets this season. Not saying that this is going to happen again. You know, he might get a few or something like that. But Marshon Lattimore, if I'm sitting there picking which side I'd rather be on with this matchup, it's got to be the Saints. Marshon Lattimore will lock down pretty much Mike Evans. So when we look at Chris Godwin, I believe in the first 2 matchups, C.J. Gardner-Johnson got most of the snaps on Chris Godwin. So I feel pretty confident in C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I think he does well in pass coverage. So I will take C.J. Gardner-Johnson on that. When it comes to Antonio Brown, I believe Janoris Jenkins had him in week 9 when we played him. That was his first game ever starting in the NFL. Well, you know, since, you know, whatever. So that was his first game. Although he had a pretty good game stat-wise. I mean, I think he was their number 1 receiver in that game. But I trust Janoris Jenkins. This matchup is probably the most... and just because Antonio Brown is looking really, really good this season, but I trust in Janoris Jenkins to, contain him somewhat. But, yeah, with Gronk, he's a big body. I don't think he was targeted at all last week against the Washington football team, or so he wasn't even on the box score at all. So he had like 0 catches, but obviously is a threat to be reckoned with. And I believe Malcolm Jenkins will get some looks at him whenever he is in the rotation with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As far as Scotty Miller, he's pretty fast, so it just depends on the switch-ups. He's pretty fast, so we'll just see. Sometimes maybe Demario Davis can get some coverage looks, or just Alex Anzalone. We'll just see with the matchups. And Cameron Brate, he's also used a little bit. He's a little bit of a less known name with this high-powered Tampa Bay offense, but he's still good. So yeah. All right, a couple more stats about how the Tampa Bay offense matches up against the New Orleans Saints defense. Tampa Bay's offense is third best when it comes to points per game. On third down efficiency, they're ranked 11th. With red zone efficiency, they're ranked 7th. Now, the New Orleans Saints defense, when preventing third downs, they're ranked 9th best. But when it comes to red zone, when preventing touchdowns in the end zone, they're ranked 29th. And we have been pretty awful when it comes to red zone, or preventing any touchdowns. The red zone, I said, like, usually teams don't get even close to be, in the 20-yard line to be considered red zone, because first of all, we don't let up a lot of points as of late. So a lot of teams don't even get in the red zone in general, but whenever they do, they usually score. So that's something we have to tighten down on. But we're top 10 when it comes to preventing third down conversion, so that's pretty good. So yes, the secondary needs to play well for us to win. However, I think the biggest thing the defense needs to do is get pressure on Tom Brady. Get to him, sack him, get quarterback hits, because when you look at our success in the first time we played them and the last time we played them, that was one of them. We were able to get to him, and like any other quarterback, Drew Brees does well under pressure, but we're going to get into that. But Tom Brady, when you have our D linemen, they're outstanding. They're versatile, can get there quick. Bad things happen. It's shown with our D linemen against Tom Brady. When they come quick, bad things happen. But of course, Tom Brady, maybe we'll find a wide open person. We'll get the ball out quick. It'll happen probably. But I mean, our D linemen, excellent at jumping on right when the snap happens and getting to Tom Brady. When you look at the games we played in, the first game, 3 sacks, 7 QB hits, excellent. The last time we played them in week 9, 3 sacks, 9 QB hits. So that makes up a total of 6 sacks and 16 quarterback hits over those 2 games. That's absolutely insane. I like our odds against the Tampa Bay offensive line. So, Tampa Bay's offensive line, they've only allowed 22 sacks, which is the 4th fewest in the NFL. So, if you take that stat alone, you could argue or say that they're a top 5 offensive line. When you look at the Saints' defensive line, we've gotten 45 sacks, which is 8th highest in the NFL, and 122 QB hits, which is 5th highest in the NFL. So you look at that, we rank up pretty well against them. Again, we've had a lot of success. I hope Trey Hendrickson can come back. Right now, he's been limited. Wednesday and Thursday. I'm hoping he plays. It looks like he might play. So obviously having him is going to be a huge factor. I believe he got 2 sacks in the week 9 matchup. Not sure if he got any in the week 1. But obviously Trey Hendrickson got 1 sack last week against the Bears. So it was missed. It looked like sometimes Trubisky had a little bit more time in the pocket than he needed to. So Trey Hendrickson, obviously a big deal. Lead sack rusher on this team. Definitely we need him. And he won his matchups in week 9 and got 2 sacks off of it, I believe. So our defensive line doesn't have to hit home anytime. Obviously we want a sack, but or quarterback hit. But any type of pressure, any pressure in a quarterback's face, usually they make the wrong decisions. They make bad throws that they don't want to. Well, Tom Brady, in the first round, the first matchup, he threw 2 interceptions. One was a pick 6 to Janoris Jenkins. He took it to the house. And in the last matchup, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions. So that's a total of 5 interceptions against the Saints this year. Tom Brady only has 12 interceptions this entire year. So 5 have come from the Saints. So almost half of his interceptions have come just from the Saints alone. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, we got to capitalize on those interceptions. Big reason why they didn't score is because we took advantage of those. Oh, well, in the last matchup, technically they didn't score. They just wanted to get a field goal. They knew what they were doing, but pretty much was shut out till I don't remember when they actually kicked the field goal, but whatever, right? We took advantage of those interceptions, and we held the ball. We did what we had to do on offense. So you will want your secondary to make those catches because, if they don't, that could be very, very costly, and that can keep the drive extending and going. So you want your secondary to play really, really well, and any chance that they can get at the ball, they can get it. I think a big thing about Week 9 was that our secondary and our pass rush got there to Tom Brady. That's extremely incredible because sometimes there were times where Tom Brady had a little bit more time, but guess what? He had nobody to throw to because our secondary was nicely covered. Then opposite, whenever there was somebody open, he just couldn't get it out in time because our pass defense was just that good. So yeah, Week 9, I feel like our pass defense played amazing and our secondary was amazing. So hopefully we can replicate that coming this week. One last thing about the Tampa Bay offense, we're going to talk about their running game. They're 27th when it comes to running the football, which is pretty low. Thought they were higher, but take a look at last week's game against the Washington football team. People have argued and have said that the Washington football team, they have the best front four in all of NFL. And coming into that game, the Washington football team were second. They were second when stopping the run, so obviously high expectations there. But they let Leonard Fournette get 93 yards, which you don't want to give up those yards in general, but especially if you're top two or if you are number two and you let up that many yards, that's obviously a disappointment. That's a big failure. So, yeah, when you look at the New Orleans Saints, though, their run defense, they let up 3.9 yards per carry, which is fifth fewest in the NFL. And then they let up 93.9 yards per game, which is fourth fewest in the NFL. So they rank pretty good. I think the first couple of times the carries were split between Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. As I said, I think earlier, Ronald Jones has he's been a little bit injured, banged up. Last week against the Washington football team, I believe Leonard Fournette played the entire game or got most of the carries. So we'll see there. I think, again, the last time we played them, the New Orleans Saints played them, they had split carries. But I trust in this run defense. If we can get Trey, that would be very, very nice. We have Malcolm Brown. I mean, Cam Jordan's a big factor. Malcolm Brown's really good. Yeah, Malcolm Brown's the one that's really good at run stopping. David Onyemata, Sheldon Rankins. The list goes on. I trust in our run defense so much. And, of course, we have Demario Davis, Alex Anzalone, who are very versatile, can get anywhere across the field. They go through the interior or exterior. I believe Demario Davis and Alex Anzalone will get them. So, yeah. Our run defense has been a little bit slacky, but we only gave up, I believe, 30 yards to or 40 yards to David Montgomery last week with the Chicago Bears. So I trust in this run defense, and I believe that they can get the job done. So this has been part 1 of the Buccaneers versus Saints. This has been the Buccaneers offense versus the Saints defense. The Saints offense versus the Buccaneers defense will be coming up shortly. I guess a link will pop up right now for you guys to click on it. If not, it'll be out very, very shortly. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you're most excited about for the Saints defense. Do you think we will dominate them? How many sacks do you think we'll get? Who's going to be the lead sacker? Will there be any interceptions? How is all of our cornerbacks, safeties, and just our DBs going to do against, the Bucs' high-powered weapons? And let me know what your thoughts are about Tom Brady. Literally anything about this video or anything about the Saints in general. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.